Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh. Sorry about that. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, the morning update every single Saturday. I got my crutches here. As you know, I've had a severe Achilles tendon rupture. I will not be able to walk. I can't walk. My ability to walk has been taken from me like this. So cherish your mornings, cherish your days. If you got up and walked to the bathroom, you're doing better than me, all right? You're doing better than me. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Bitcoin had a chance to pump last night, but Fridays are whack, low volume, usually get no follow through, and that's exactly what happened. Learned my lesson just to leave Fridays absolutely alone. Sometimes I just trade small amounts just to see if it can pump. It happens occasionally, but this time it did not. Let's talk about it. And it's so weird. Like, the setups are so interesting because, like, this is like, that's a bullpen. That breaks up 70% of the time you're going to have a pump right there. And last night it was just a rollover as you couldn't get really back above 84,005. You know, that kind of 84.5 was like, no, 84.588, and then no. Bit of a double top there. You couldn't get back above this key level, okay? And then kind of folding to the downside. Now, what I see is either a double bottom, but it also starts to resemble a descending triangle, right? So this is a known dumping pattern. It likes to dump. Again, low volume on the weekends. They might just go blip, blip, ba-dip, 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 ba-doo. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't have any follow through. You don't have a lot of people jumping in on the same way as us. We're all speculating on a light volume. So, like, this is what's supposed to happen, just like that was supposed to break out, but we don't know. And honestly, trading less, I found I have to be even more selective with my trades than I was in the last 6 months. We have to use volume as much as we can. We have to find more people in the trades to be able to circumvent stop hunts and stuff like that. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tougher trading. But, you know, shout out to everybody. If you were with me, we made money on gold. We made money on... It was a great month of trading. If you took my calls in January, you should be up on gold and silver and a few other awesome altcoins too as well. We had auction going up 70%. We had that A crew or something, a coup. That thing was up huge, 237% in like a couple days. So we hit some big gains that we weren't really normally privy to in the altcoin market. And we still didn't take out this low. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's look at it. I'll make my prediction for tonight and we'll have some fun. Thank God I could do my job sitting down. You know, I got to go over all the things I'm grateful for. You know, I lost the use of my left leg. It's going to be operation style. My Achilles tendon just basically tore off the leg. You know, I'm hoping it's a rupture. I went to the hospital yesterday. I was hoping to get an MRI or a CAT scan so I could bring it to the doctor that I'm going to see. They sat me there for 5 hours. 5 hours. Forgot about me twice, like admittedly. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Next time I'm going to Lakewood Ranch, I really tell people, if you live in Sarasota, go to Lakewood Ranch Hospital, man. I think I would have got better service. They wouldn't have forgot about me. I went to Sarasota Memorial, which has great reviews. Forgot about me. The intake lady takes me in, tells me she's going to give me an x-ray. She tells me to my face I'm going to get an x-ray and all this stuff. Then I tell her my leg feels like it might be, you know, I don't know if it was getting circulation. So then she does a machine. She gets circulation. She puts an X on my foot, which I still have, like an X marker on my foot. And then I proceed to sit in a waiting room until that woman gets off a shift and forgets about me. The new one comes on shift and starts going through the thing. She takes all the new people. Eventually she finds me and I'm like, I've been here for 3 hours. She's like, oh my God, that's not right. I'm like, come on, man. I said, you guys, the doctor told me to elevate and ice my foot. You won't even let me elevate and ice my foot. You got me sitting in here in a wheelchair. I can't even put my foot up. I said, I got angry. I was in pain. I said, can I get an ice pack, please? I didn't say to her tomorrow. I was like, I need an ice pack. Like, what's going on here? It's weird, right? If you went to a doctor, he'd said, put it up and ice it. But then you're going to go to the doctors and they're going to leave you with it uniced and not elevated and just stare at you for hours. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to join a private health network. I looked up, I was like, what do rich people do, man? I said, they have a private network. It's called Soulless Health. And you don't have to go to the ER. You can go to their ER and it's like private ER. It was insane. Then the doctor comes in, asks me to push my foot against his hand. And he's like, yeah, that's going to need surgery. Doesn't do a CAT scan, doesn't tell me anything. The guy was one of the worst personable doctors I've ever seen in my life. If you're out there, Dr. William, you need to learn how to be nice. Like, just kind of like walk in the room with a smile, man. It was the lamest presentation I've ever seen in my life, bro. So anyway, shout out to everybody here. God bless you all. Thank you so much. But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest, all right? My 5 hours at the hospital yesterday, and we got nothing done. I now still have to call an orthopedic surgeon. If anyone knows an orthopedic surgeon in the Tampa Bay, Sarasota area, please email cryptolifers@gmail.com and let me know. Let's get back into basics. So this is a bear flag. The target is 67,000. 62. Yeah, 64. 64K. There's a chance that we stop here when we hit this previous resistance right there at 71,000. And you got some support here too when you come down to that next low, right at about 77K. Bitcoin suggesting that we do go lower with 75,000, 76,350 as the big area of liquidity. This is Bookmap. It tells you where people have their stop losses and where we're going. Saying we're likely going to go down to this key area here to about 76,200. And who's in this chat? Let me find out who's in my chat today and say hi to my peoples, man. God bless my crypto lifers. If you're here today, you know you came to cheer me up because I'm in a bad place and I got to struggle mentally to get back to where I used to be. And told the ambulance I woke up and after I almost died in a motorcycle wreck to take me to the ABC hospital. They took me to XYZ. In the end, it was the best for me. Got my black belt 1 year later. Hey, God bless you, man. The conspiracy is at the all-time low. The competency is at all-time low. Here in compared to the past, it's showing here with the snow. Yeah. And I agree with you, man. You got this, brother. God is great. Thank you, Reliable J, man. Listen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. You struggling, spend a little time with Jesus. That's what, you know what's crazy is before this, I started reading the Bible. You know, you have to be careful so you don't get a blood clot. Get that. That could happen when you have damage inside your leg. Thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate that. Keep freaking me out, man. Like, you will heal. You keep saying that. This is the third time you said that, man. You give me like heebie-jeebies. Can you like? I appreciate you got to tell me the truth though. So, I'm still teaching class. Yes, I will teach class at 9 a.m. today. If you want to jump on into class, we will teach class today at 9 a.m. So if you want class, I do have it here. It's probably one of the last times I ever teach this class for $150. After that, we're going to revamp it and charge a little more because it has so much awesome information. And I gave it away for years, man. Stupid market maker keep pumping below support line and dumping above resistance. It's crazy, right? You should look at a GameStop, brother. It's a play of the century. Ryan Cohen to the next Warren Buffett. Hey, man, you might be right. You might be right. You might be right. Yeah, you're the real man, Sammy. You've inspired me to be a better dad and know I have a bright future in trading. God bless you, man. You do. You do. I made it. I started playing with the money, and I got somewhere in life. You know what I mean? Like, my investments are things that I invested in are over the millions of dollars. It took me a long time. You could say you got lucky with Bitcoin. You got whatever I got lucky with. I was a kid in my 20s. I had a dream. I worked for my money. I put my money in the markets, and who knows? I could have found anything. How did I find crypto? Whatever. Everyone has their story. Crypto's mine, you know. When the issue is clear at the physical exam, no need for radiology. It saves costs. I even learned that all the exams were done. Yeah, but they have to find out if it really pulled all the way. They have to look at it first before they do an operation. So they're going to give me an MRI and a CT scan. It's probably going to be more expensive at the private place than if I just got it done. Yeah. Pull yourself together. You're on the top of your game and no one can compete. God is blessing you. Keep your head up today. God is testing you. Thank you. I agree with that. But it's so easy for everyone else to say when you get to walk around, when you have the use of your leg. You know what I mean? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, man, when you're an active man like me, like I want to go swimming today, or I want to go walk with my kids. I want to run. I want to go, you know. Wishing you the best as we both deal with our Achilles tendon tear. You have one too? Can you email me so we can go through it together, man? That like means a lot to me. Like, God bless you. And you could teach me. Maybe you're further along. Maybe I am. We could both help each other. Please email me, Crypto Steph. I really appreciate that. Thank God he went to the doctor. Wow, you guys think I never go to the doctor, right? He's like, the guy just refuses to go to the doctor. He's an animal. Anyway, so this looks like we're headed lower, right, folks? Let's just be honest with ourselves. There's no divergence. We're defying, you could still say there's hidden, but I've never seen hidden do this. I'll be honest. In my lifetime, I never seen hidden do that and then create hidden. It's like that was the psyche, that was the point right there. You got to keep continuing up. So this has been a very strange cycle. TA is just starting to get negated completely. I mean, at the same time, yes and no, we have lost 200 moving averages. There have been some key areas. Look, previous resistance is support. You have now lost that area. You could short here with a stop on the other side of this area. The idea is to make bigger time frames, longer chance moves is less likely to get liquidated right now because that's what's happening. I mean, this has a little bull div. I'll give it to you. You got a little uptrend here and some downtrend there, but it's just, to me, it's it's sparing, right? Again, here's our hopium copium. One day, this is how it's going to be. Can we invert out of this? Could we possibly, is there diamond vibes here that could reverse us back to the upside? It's a chance, but man, us, we longed the bottom, and it did, we ended up longing that bottom on the 4 hour. We'll show you in a second, but dang, man, and look, the shoulder, head, right shoulder, retest of the bottom trend line. And here we are on the daily time frame. So let's take a look at our daily yet again. 5-day chart, bearish. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. 20 days of dump. Crazy, right? It's funny how many longs I pulled off. I pulled off a long in this. How I made $2,000 on a long one day. It's insane when you think about it. I never thought that was possible. I didn't know people had those skills before. I didn't, when you don't see the market like that, you can't see how people can pull off the market like that. You know what I mean? But look, yeah, we got this inverted head and shoulder. It could be a game saver, but man, I don't know. I'm off the charts I'm not going to trade this weekend. The volume is so low, and it's just looking tight. Right? I made 35 from $100. I turned it to 700. They go back to 2,000, and now 300. I'm tired, man. You got to take the money out. This is what I learned. I like to start with small amounts and get up a bit. I start $5,000, turned it into this. This is how I started. 300 for 100. Then I used $5,000. Once I felt that was comfortable, I put $5,000 in the account. Once the $5,000 got to $7,000, I would take $2,000 out and put it somewhere. You see? And then I would get it. And I did that 5 times in a row. I did it on my live stream in front of you guys, maybe even 6 times. And then I would buy Bitcoin with the $5,000, with the $2,000. And I did it over and over again until I felt comfortable. That's how I started. I said, can I turn $5,000 to 7? Can I take the 7 out? Everyone's like, oh, I need to go to 7. Now I need to go to 8. Now I need to go to 10. No. You got, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but for me, you got to start taking some money out of the market. That's what I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You got to pay yourself like it's a job. Otherwise, you're not going to put the pressure on to get it done each month. You're just going to be like, oh, I can grow this to 20. I can grow this to 30. I can grow. You got to have a goal. You got to say, hey, I'm going to use this to pay for something. And you got to have something that you want to pay for. Maybe it's a college loan. Maybe, you know what I mean? And every time you're up, you take $400 or $500. You got to pay the trader. You got to have a realistic idea of what you're going to do with the money, or you just won't do anything with it. Everyone thinks they're going to get rich by just thinking rich. You can't. You have to have, Jim Rohn taught me you have to have specific goals in mind. I want to get rich by this date. I'd like to make $200,000 by February 3rd. I'd like to make $450,000 by December 1st. How? I'd like to, you got to have an idea. What's your idea? What's your plan? And then execute the plan one step at a time. It's really, getting rich is not that hard. It's saying, hey, what do I want to do? First of all, look at how other people got rich. Now you have AI. How can I get rich? Ask it. It'll tell you and then say, hey, what can I do? What can I do today to implement these strategies? People that aren't using AI are bugging me out. It's right there for you. Look at this. The shoulder, the head, the right shoulder there too. That right shoulder dump. And we call that at 107.6. If you remember, you could still be in that short. It's crazy to hold shorts for that long. Imagine being able to hold the short from the time we got in there at about November 2nd. You'd still be getting paid right now. So the big money is in the long-term shorting. So look, you can see that we're headed to the 5-day 200 moving average. It just looks like it's the likely area. And maybe this is the inverted head and shoulder that saves the day. We don't know. I'm open-minded. Right now, though, you got to consider, until a reversal pattern comes, you got to say that it's going to continue lower, right? Exactly. Set a monthly goal. I desire to pay a bill. Use the word desire. Get rid of the word want. Focus, focus, focus. Discipline. All right? Yes, take profits to paid off all debt, including wife's PhD. Feels amazing. This guy paid off all his debt. You know what I mean? I have 2 homes that I have mortgages on. I want to pay them off. One of my houses is basically done. I only have 1 more mortgage to pay, and I am done. No bills then. I only have to pay. And then what they get rid of property tax in Florida, I only have 1 home with property tax. And then 2 insurance bills, right? And then we got pool maintenance, security, pest control. The list goes on. Owning a home is a bit of a hole. If you don't have the extra excess money, it's a hole. Yeah. So it's not an asset, it's a liability. I highly suggest you rent where you live. This is my firm belief. You should rent where you live, and you should buy what you rent. So right now you have a job, you're renting for, and you get a savings of a few $100,000. I would go and I would put that into a cash flowing real estate project, something that brings me some type of cash flow. It doesn't have to be amazing. I put $475,000. I went half on a buddy. We bought a $970,000 building, right? $1 million building. We both went half, $500,000 a piece. It was like $475,000 after fees, and it brings me $4,000 a month. Not amazing, but it makes me 10% a year. Okay, in 10 years it'll pay itself back. Not amazing, but it's cash flowing. It is cash flowing. Okay, if I had put that $500,000 into my home, there's no cash flow there. You see? Then I opened up another Airbnb that cash flows. $40,000 a week people pay at a high-end vacation rental. I mean, that's insane. $40,000 a week because it can house 2 families. It's got 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. Okay, it's huge. 3,800 square foot, and it's got a pool and a backyard. So people are willing to pay, right? So boom. If I can run that for 4 weeks in August and generate $160,000, that pays for the mortgage and some. All those fees there are $89,000 a year. And bang, now I'm cash flowing another $80,000, okay? And once that house is paid off, it could cash flow maybe $250,000 a year if I do it right. So what you do is, and this all came from my trading and my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? I am a known YouTuber. There is money that comes from just being on YouTube. I will tell you that, right? And there's incentives, there's sponsorships, there's so many ways to grow once you put yourself out there. The universe will say, oh, you're the one that wanted to put the suit on and show up every single day? Oh, I'll give you that opportunity. Opportunity is waiting for the person that decides to show up every day for it. It's not going to wait for you, though. And it's not going to decide who it's going to hand it to. You have to go out and make it happen. You have to see someone doing something, say, that looks pretty cool. I like to, you know what I mean? Right now, I'll tell you, I know a perfect way to make money right now. I already figured it out. I sat there. I think this injury already told me exactly what to do. I've been thinking about it for days. And I already told one of my good friends, and I'm going to start doing it. And I already know exactly what to do. It's a new way to make money. Wouldn't you like to know? I can't tell everything to everybody, though. But there's another way to make money right now that people will pay you $500 an hour for. There's a $500 job that will only take you 4 to 5 months to master. And I'm just telling you right now, my mind sees it if you see it. However, it's also important to consider that property values are projected to appreciate. They are, but they appreciate with the cost of goods. So mowing the lawn costs more. Buying the lawnmower costs more. The house gets more expensive to maintain because the house goes up in value. Your property taxes go up without you asking for it. You see? This is a head and shoulder pattern. I got to be clear with you. Even if you don't see it as such, it is. That's a head and shoulder. They made a nasty little right shoulder. Okay? It doesn't have to be big. That's a head and shoulder pattern. The sad thing about that is, you've got a massive measured move here. And you know what I mean? It's weird. Like 38,000. I keep seeing in my mind a $40,000 Bitcoin. Think about it. We went to 15. We went to 69. We went to what? 70K. We crashed back down to 15,000. You go all the way up to 120, 126, 129. You come all the way back down to what? It could possibly be 40K, 4 times 3, right? 50, it's 15 times 4 is 60. So it can happen. Thank you for gifting memberships. Scottish Crypto, you didn't have to do that. That's super nice of you, man. God bless you, brother. You're one of the nicest people I've ever met. You've been through thick and thin. You've been battling the charge. You've gone up and down. You never give up. You're in the trenches. God bless you, brother. This is very nice of you to give. I can't believe you did that. Thank you. Anyone that gives to me, I can't believe it. Every single day, I started with 3 subscribers, everybody. 1 subscriber, me. I was my first subscriber. It was just me. So I got to be honest, that looks like 40K a coming. Unless something happens and something changes, and I see us at least coming to 71,680 for Sheezy. You know, maybe there's a chance this holds and we get a bounce. Enough people decide that this is the bottom and we start the round, but 71,000 looks very likely for Bitcoin. Once you, and I talk about the progression of the 200 moving average, once you lose the daily 200. Okay, let me show you this. I'll show it on another chart, actually. I'll clean it up in a second. So I want my point to be very clear, and I want you guys to learn. Most of you don't understand this because you guys are the diehards that show up on Saturday morning. Anybody new here that's never watched the channel? Sammy is only rich because he is rich because his heart is. Let that sink in. It's true, man. Like, you know, do you think gold and silver will dump with Bitcoin if it goes to 40K? It's possible, but I don't think not as bad though. No, because gold and silver didn't dump when Bitcoin went down in the last bear markets. So no, I would have to say no. Yeah, I've been watching you forever. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Price. Housing market crash is starting. Just bought a house in Ohio for 40K. They've been selling for 880K in that neighborhood. That's amazing. God bless you, bro. You just scooped it up. Way to scoop it. Please analyze Ghost. Ghost didn't look too good. Looks like it's going to dupe, right? This is at the 786. This is Penguin. It's like if it doesn't bounce there, it's over. If it doesn't bounce here, it's over. But that's 786 right there is an interesting place. You know, last I saw Ghost was I bought it at 6 million market cap. Now it's like, eh. Same thing with Ghost, though. It's coming back down. And again, if Bitcoin tanks, you know, Bitcoin looked like we were going to move. There was speculation. There was some timing there. And so you speculate at the beginning, but then you kind of have to be quick to be like, eh. Had this crazy spike, right? It's at the 618. I think it's high risk. You know what I mean? So all this is highly speculative. I only put money I made on Polymarket on this. Remember? I turned 1K into 5K on Polymarket, 5,500. And I speculated on this just because I had some speculation money. So if I had real money in there, I would not put it in there. I'd only put what I was willing to lose. Please be very careful. When I say highly speculative, I mean it. And you never know. This could still bounce. It has a real use case. You know? It has a real use case. Live now, January 20. I wanted to make sure they're still tweeting, they're doing their thing. Yeah, Ghost and Moonshot. We have timed this onboarding campaign according to our strategic release of Ghost Swap later this week. I don't know, man. They're going to come out with the swap. I think there could be some action here. I could be wrong, though. I do own this coin, so whatever happens, happens. Amen. And I'm proud to be an American. I hope you are, too. America, I love you, man. I never, you know what I mean? Look at this. Like, these are the dreams that can be created. You know, and it's amazing. So cool how, like, it enhances the picture. Like, that's insane. But I love you, America. You know, with the opportunities here in this country. I was able to start a business. I was able to push every day. I was able to find, you know, advertising, marketing. What a great country to be in, man. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you so much for being here and being amazing. All right. Look at this guy's in the street trying to give an ounce of gold away for $25. No one will buy it from him. It's insane. No one will buy the ounce for 25 bucks. I mean, wow, come up, you know. 3.5 million pages of the Epstein files were let out yesterday, and there's some weirdly damning stuff in there. I'll be honest. And it seems kind of coordinated, but we'll see. Exactly. So, no one pushed harder than me to have Epstein files released, and I'm glad they have finally happened. See? And he never was on the plane. The guy tried to get him 100 times. So crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Anyway. It's an insane place to be, right? So much is happening right now in many ways, right? You know, but don't let the fear give in. I think this is where you got to find out who you really are and how you're going to persevere, right? So anyway, we're going to look at the smaller time frames and the bigger time frames, but this is a massive breakdown. Bitcoin is taking a dump of dumps, and I don't see it stopping. I really don't. I see it headed down to $72,000, and just like I can call a bump, I mean, look at this as the dump, and then you could even see, I mean, this is the measured move. And Bitcoin almost always hits the measured move. It is pretty spot on whenever I've done this, and so this is telling me we're going to at least 61,000. At that point, we might make another bear flag. Unless we make a reversal pattern and then, you know, the next leg is down. And that's usually 2 legs, and that's the end of the bear market. You know, it doesn't really get, there's 1 leg, there's 2 legs. So there's your, like, first, you get the collapse, then you get this leg. That's really actually the whole leg almost. You see? And then you got this little flag here, and you got another leg down, right? It didn't go the whole leg on that one. You see what I mean? But so similar story. Maybe we don't go, but this is what I'm looking for. And you got to start thinking there's going to be a $42,000 Bitcoin entry here at one point. And it's going to take some years to recover. This is a possibility. All right? You got to take this into consideration. You got to be okay with this. If you're not okay with this, it's, you know, and it happens, then what are you going to do? You're going to cry? You're going to freak out? So even me, I got to tell myself, can you handle $41,000 Bitcoin, Sam? And honestly, it's going to be tough to stomach with how much I hold and like where I was up. I'm going to lose 2/3 of my net worth. I was the richest I ever was here. The euphoria was insane. I remember being live. Everything was going our way. Wow. And it looked like we were going to at least consolidate and continue. There was so much money backing it, but it's always been the case that the retail gets fleeced, man. Every single time, right? And so that's why we saw the shorts. We could see that like it wasn't going to happen. That's why I don't over leverage longs. I didn't get wiped out on October 10th like most people, right? And I still got capital to fight another day. I'm still sitting on massive amounts of Tether, and I've lost money in Tether. You couldn't win. You could lose me. You know, you had to go all into Bitcoin, all into gold, and I'm not an all-in guy. I'm not going to shift all my funds into gold for 2 weeks. Like, people that did make a boatload. I get it. All I do is know that I'm going to keep working hard every day, and that's my solace. I'm going to find trades. I'm going to find ways to win. Remember, just like when these are tight, we pump up to the 200 moving average. I've seen it many times. They're tight. We pump up to the 200. Look, there's a beautiful cup and handle right there. You see it? I mean, it's obvious. So Bitcoin has spoken. We told you many times it didn't look good. Look at that cup and handle. I mean, that's exact. The only thing I thought could be was the hidden bullish divergence. There was, you know what I mean? And the fact that the fear and greed went pretty low. Like we were at 10 and 11. This went to 16, bounced to 20. I don't know how the fear got better. Fear's getting worse. 16 should have went to 12, if you ask me. I don't know how we jumped to 20. Doesn't make any sense to me. Could have this been the bottom here? Not funny. Could this be the bottom right here? There's a chance, but I don't know. It's looking very unlikely. And I got to switch to kind of full bear mode here. And I've always been a bear since we lost the daily 200 moving average. I told you we're in a bear market. I never said we weren't. Wow, Bitcoin dumping as we speak out the head and shoulder pattern on the daily time frame. And so that short right there on the shoulder inside the pattern, that's the short, right? Last time we took a daily right short, it's still open from right there. It's still open. So do you jump in late right now? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a bit sketchy, but to me, it looks like if you jump in a short, you're likely to get paid over time, you know? And I see us at least dumping down here to 72,500. And then Bookmap, which is linked in the description. I do get a commission if you jump into Bookmap. It's got a lot of liquidity at 75,750. It's telling us we're in for a $7,000 dump here for Bitcoin. And since last night, once we lost the 200 moving average on the 15-minute, on the 7-minute, we've been dumping ever since. So this is bearish. Remember the head short on the 4-hour time frame. That is now in the money exclusively nicely. And then look at this round. I mean, this is a descending triangle. You can see it, folks. So there's your entry if you're waiting to get in. There's the entry right there on the right shoulder. Sad thing is, the low volume might spike us out before they get the run. Like I've been learning that the trades haven't been going perfect. It's been very choppy. So even though the direction looks correct, we haven't been getting it. Or we're getting sideswiped or just, there's been a lot of manipulation. It's been very difficult. All right? Like this says it's going to dump. I wouldn't be surprised if they rip it up first before they dump it. It's the weekend. Saturdays are just almost not worth trading, but sometimes it's the only time you can get in because then they dump it too, right? So it's very, Very difficult. That's why sticking to my strategy and not feeling like I have to jump in, like I don't have to get the long. I don't have to. It's like we just got to take what the market gives us each day. Like if I stick to my 200 and I trade it Monday through Tuesday through Thursday and I hodl, and I put the money away when I win and I just keep pushing, there's a better odds that I win than just kind of going at everything that I see on Saturdays and Sundays. So we have to restrain ourselves even though if we want to trade. But then there's that time where you feel like I got to get in, right? Everyone else feel that feeling like you're going to miss and you get that FOMO, right? And it forces you to trade. All right. I missed the Friday big picture update. I was in the hospital. Thank you. I was in the hospital, bro. I didn't do the update. My foot was freaking falling off. I love you, though. I'm happy that you missed it. It means I wish a lot of other people missed it. Only 2,000 people watch it of my 104,000 subs. So, you know what I mean? Like it's an amazing video. It teaches you what's happening. It shows the big picture. It's called the S&P. It's called so much stuff. Look, 1,000, 2,000, 1,700, 1,900, 2,000. It's like a conspiracy. Like, how do you only get 2,000 people to watch a macro technical analysis video that covers the NASDAQ, Bitcoin? Maybe we got to do a different thumbnail that says NASDAQ, Bitcoin, the big picture of all markets. Let's do that. I think we got to change the name of this because people don't know what's in it. They think it's just a weekly Bitcoin video, but it's not. We got to change this thumbnail, Sean. I'm going to tell my team, man, I'm making an executive decision. Like, if we put out more information there, like, hey, we're doing gold, silver, like gold traders could have watched this, S&P traders, not just crypto lifers. You know what I mean? Just really wish that my information would get out to more people. It bothers me that I worked so hard and that I can only help so many lives. Like, and that's a free video. I'm not getting anything out of there. It's not, you know what I mean? It's just information to help somebody. Like, so this looks bearish to me and it looks like we're going to continue to dump. I don't see what's going to stop this from happening. So I see more downside. And I honestly think a short is definitely the best probability right now of anything. But I also don't like trading on the weekends. So sketchy business. That's the short. Where do I see us tonight at 8 p.m.? Let's take a look here at what will happen at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. will be 20. Oh, yeah, I got to be on the 1 hour. You can't catch it. And again, I'm grateful for the 2,000 people that I got to be grateful all the time. I'm grateful for the 2,000 people that do watch it. Hey, at least 2,000 people do watch it. See, I always have to go back to gratitude. Every time I feel myself even slightly ungrateful or being a little, I got to be like, man, like, you know what? I have one of my legs right now. There's people that don't have both their legs. I have one leg. So that's a blessing, right? So I still got one of my legs. And I didn't lose my other leg. It's just in severe pain, I'm in severe pain right now. I didn't take a painkiller this morning because I don't want to get addicted to that stuff. They gave me Oxycontins. I don't want to become a pill popper, guys. So I'm withstanding, so I'm in pain right now. Could have woken up this morning and popped one of the pills they gave me. I decided I just don't want to get that deep into this stuff. And so I'm doing the best I can, everyone, to not fall into the trap here that the devil may be setting up for me. Would not sell my coins when I still have mastered my trading. Liquidity pools and DeFi is a good way to go until the markets turn around. I like that he said that. Yeah. Sam, good call yesterday with the short. Got almost 1,000 points out of it. God bless you, man. Thank you. Yeah. Someone says, I can't book the class for the same reason. Just email Crypto Lifers if you want to get into class. We could take payment via PayPal or even cryptocurrency. Email CryptoLifers@gmail. Still time to get into class today. I found your channel during Black Friday. Haven't missed a stream since. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, yeah, I teach class soon. We're going to break it down. We're going to have some fun. Sam, how do you feel about the gold and silver trade? What trade? Like, I don't know what he's, I said to short gold when it was away for the 21-day moving average. And there it is dumping. You can see my X post here, right here. Last night, I posted my trading group that gold was a great position to enter as short. And boom, it was. Here's the exact stamp post. If you keep missing trades, go to cryptolifer.com, right? But it's like, Setting up our next big time frame gold trade. Short looks likely here as well. Back to the 21 with the Fibonacci. You're going to come down. Now, there's a chance we went sideways, but you enter the short. The cool about it, if you go sideways, you don't get kicked out of the short. It doesn't even hit your stop. And you could barely lose a lot, but if you go down, you get paid. So it's almost like a no-risk trade when you do that. And if you do it over and over again, you get real comfortable with understanding what's happening. The daily's away for the 21. If you come to my channel for years, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn what I say. You're going to learn back to the 21. Any asset in the world, you go back to that 21-day moving average, no matter what, back to the 21. This guy says, look at the most smartest man in the world. Now is the last chance to join the super cycle. You never know. We didn't break 80K yet. You never know. Let's look at the most insane scenario that could happen, all right? Most insane scenario possible is this. Something big happens, a bank collapses, and somehow this turns into a right shoulder. This divergence kicks in, they spike it. I believe if you break above here and retest, that's going to be a great entry there at 84.5. I'll give them the 82 to 85,000 to have better risk here. And look, that'll be a cup and handle that will break us out. There's a chance we bounce back to the upside. I'm going to let the market sit. I'm going to rest my trading hands for a couple days. I've been trading heavily for days. I've been in a trade every day for the last few weeks. I don't think I've taken any moments. So trade less, make more. Let your capital sit. It does look short today if I had to call it, but it's the weekend. And if I call it, I think I'll force someone to trade, and I don't want anybody to trade. So, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying should be taken as financial advice. But at the end of the day, I have to say this looks like this is a descending triangle. Like that is the definition of a dump. And it looks like it's likely going to take a ripper to the downside. So if I had to call it, I'd have to say 81,000 is the target. But hey, maybe we bounce up to the upside too. You never know. I'm telling you, though, the odds are very likely we dump further down to 81 and 182. So I'm calling a short. I'm going to leave it alone, though. So I ain't in there, right? Is BIP 110, isn't that a peptide? Or no? What is BIP 110? To seize Bitcoin so it could be distributed to the working class? Is that for real? That's not real, right? I just found the best argument for BIP 10. Some dude made a white paper. What is BIP 10? What is BIP 110? Is that really? That's not like seize Bitcoin and redistribute it. Are you kidding me? Oh, because it's so scarce, so the guy like me who held it all these years will never made fun of me and told me I was insane. I don't get any benefit from that. Nah, it's not. It's not. That's all that stuff's farce, man. Don't listen to that stuff that I just said on on X. I just repeated something. I was just looking at it. I was taking it in. I didn't. They just man, they go too far. But I'm going to tell you what BIP 110 is because I don't know. And it sounds like, when Ethereum got that may go over too. That looks shoulder. I even see a head and shoulder in there. I see a bit of a shoulder, a head, and a right. That looks so bearish to me. So I'm a bear today, and it looks like we're going down to, again, that bear flag takes you to 78. And then once you go to 78, this could be a very fast dump to the downside. All right, let's take a look at BIP 110 so you know what's happening here. Is a Bitcoin improvement proposal introduced on December 3rd as a temporary soft fork aimed at reducing non-monetary data on the Bitcoin blockchain to combat spam and refocus the network on its core functions as sound money. Also known as the Reduced Data Temporary Soft Fork, seeks to address issues like inscriptions and arbitrary data storage that have burdened node operators and increased transaction costs since 2022. Output size limits. New transaction outputs are capped at 34 bytes, with op return allowing up to 83 bytes. So creepy when you think about it, because it's like you worked in a city and the people that run the city can tell you when they can change it. It's like, who really gets to change Bitcoin? It's under consensus, I get it, right? It's like node holders and everybody votes, but at the same time, someone goes into that code and messes with it. And it's almost like, shouldn't it just be left alone? And if they keep messing with it, when can they, what tweaks, when does it stop? It kind of, I'm open-minded, I gotta stay open here. I'm not, all right? So, Yep. Nice job on the short, too, on Dash. Wow. Interesting. That's very high risk to short, an altcoin. But, hey, it is what it is. Hey, he's hanging out in Portugal because it's beautiful. The difference between this bear market and the others in that the last bear markets, people were still curious and interested in Bitcoin and crypto. Even though prices were low, people still asked about the asset and whether it's time to buy. This time is different. The curiosity is gone. Do you think there is still institutional sovereign curiosity that could eventually drive retail back into curiosity? You know? Yeah, Bitcoin weekly chart looks grim. He sees what I see. Money flow oscillator is oscillating negative. Blue wave, RSI slipping down. If you pull an anchor VWAP, Bitcoin rejected off that. It might be going back to the level 2 volatility bands. Yeah, I see the same thing. You know what's interesting is me and markets that we trade the same. Very, very similar. You know what I mean? So, wow. But yeah, and a lot of people are going to just be ripping through. There's 3.5 million pages of new Epstein files. So that's crazy that he doesn't even have them enabled. He would make so much money. He just does it forever, man. That's crazy. But you could take that money and at least give it. You could feed the poor with that money. Turn it on. Feed the poor with the money. That's what I'm going to say. Like, why not? I'm an efficient guy. Like, my dad used to take cans and collect cans. You know what I mean? It's like, that's a waste of money right there. Turn it on, feed the poor, man. What do you think? Crypto Bitlord, man. These OGs that made so much money at the beginning, you know. Did the government shut down again? Is that really... See, what the... Oh, my gosh. So, I see Bitcoin collapsing. It just is what it is. That's what the charts convey to us, folks. And I'd say in the next 8 hours to 10 hours, I wouldn't be surprised if we are at 78,000. And I could be wrong. Maybe we reverse out of nowhere. The charts have been insane. But that looks like we're going lower. Down to 78,000. We get to 48. It's going to be a buying opportunity, folks. And then eventually we will be back to 100K. It won't be too long to double, and then everyone will say, oh, you know, and then it is what it is. But dang, man. It's a pretty outrageous thing to see right now, to be honest, that it is what it is. So get ready, be prepared. And that's why I only bought, remember I said months ago, I said I'm only buying things I'm prepared to hold for, multiple cycles. You see? I just feel like you got to short this, even though it's the weekend. See, this is what's tough. It's like they're giving you such good TA, but with bad liquidity. And it's like it just chews you up if it doesn't go your way. And it's tough, man. Very tough. But like this just looks so bearish to me. I feel like it's like, man. That's the trade of 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio right there, too. I go to 71K. Even 73,005. Is there any hopium? Is there any? I don't see any bullishness right now. And I'm the guy that's so open-minded, I can usually see it. Guess you could almost say there's some hidden bully there, but it's just not happening. So I'm making the call. Bitcoin's going to be dropping down somewhere to about $75,000, $78,000. And I think it looks like it's going to happen today on this low-volume Saturday. Create another CME gap. We never got to 93K. Remember, there's a CME gap at 93K. We never closed. So crazy. So 82,600. Maybe we bounce back up. So here's your hopium. Your hopium copium. I got your hopium copium. Like the one thing that could be is like, could you be doing a double bottom on the 4-hour? So there's a chance that you double bottom here. You come back to the upside and we rip the shorts a new one. And the fear just, you know what I mean? And then we get this shoulder, this kind of double-headed, we get out of this. You never know. But it looks very, very unlikely, folks. Okay? So I'm just telling you the truth. I'm being the bearer of bear news. I've been here again many times. So shorting the market looks like the way to make some gains here. And so will dump. Everything will dump. You can find the same pattern on almost every single candle, any single asset. Anyway, I got to jump out of here for the day. I got to teach class. You can still jump into class over there. so you can find out what's happening in these markets. You could have made money on gold and silver this week. There's money to be made if you have the knowledge. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you are already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. Thank you so much, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in class or tonight at 8 p.m. No days off. I don't care if my foot's falling off. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the flip side. You can, you will, you are the best. Believe in yourself. Don't let these prices take away your mind. You still have your life. You can go for a walk. I can't. I love you all. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Thank you. Wrong button. There you go. You can buy a recording of the class. Go to CryptoLifers at Gmail. Email us, CryptoLifers with an S at Gmail. And someone will get to you hopefully today. And they're pretty sure we'll get you today. And they will sell you that class. Thank you for asking. That's very nice of you. God bless. That's awesome.